I had my first rage for the first time in a while last week. It was about something at work, and I talked about it pretty level-headed with most of the people that I interacted with throughout that day. And then I got home, and I wasn't intending to do this, but I got onto the living room floor, and I just absolutely wailed. I just screamed. Just like flat, like stomach on the floor. I haven't done something like that in so long, and I don't even remember the last time. It was probably like in childhood that I actually literally got onto the floor in a fit of rage. My goodness. But it was sort of the exception that proved the rule that I haven't been as angry as of late. I think about my anger issues throughout my life because they've been there, and they used to be pretty bad. And caused some real consequences in my closest personal relationships that I still regret and I'm still working on forgiving myself for to this day. I started really getting serious about personal development about 4 years ago, and I feel like I really hit a knee of a curve last year, and that those positive changes within me, or just changes in general, I mean, you can call them positive or negative, I just want to say my development really has been super accelerated the last year, and I've lost a lot of anger. But the flip side to that, I think that I've dissolved this outer shell of like ego protection, and now I'm dropping down to a lower level that is just, it's a lot of sadness and hurt, which has obviously always been there, beneath the anger. But anger is just an easier, feels like a more self-protective choice. And it also just gets you high. I mean, those heightened senses, they just get really to your head in a way that honestly feels good sometimes. And now that I'm not choosing that nearly as much, and just naturally just don't feel it as much. I feel frustrated quite often. Frustration, annoyance is still there a lot. But the actual, what I would call anger, has just lessened by a great degree. And it just leaves the next shell, which is just sadness and hurt. It's just, I feel like I'm sad a lot more lately in the wake of having less anger. And I don't totally know what to do about it. I mean, just what I've been doing already, I guess. I would like to think that the next shell beneath this, I'm getting closer and closer to my natural state. That is just one of, calm optimism and positivity at the core. But it's work. It's really, really hard work, and it's a daily choice to shed away those levels of aching. I think that to start off with the anger, it was my ego defending itself, and now with that anger gone, it's my ego realizing that it's defenseless. And then I think it's just a matter of just identifying less and less with with the ego, because the ego itself is very fragile, and it's very easily hurt. And when you just identify with it less and less, you just come to be the natural, authentic you. And I don't totally know what that looks like or feels like. I've had glimpses, but it's not my reality yet. But I mean, that's exciting in its own way, that I get to, hey, I have even greater me out there somewhere. There's a great book called The Power of Your Supermind. Just says, hey, there's already that supermind version of you without you even trying anything. It's just really neat to think about. And I am happy that even though I'm in more pain these days than I have been in a while, or at least I'm more upfront and honest about it, I am happy that a lot of my anger has subsided. Not totally by a long shot, but a lot of it. And I'm happy that even my little rage session last week, I I conducted myself very over the top, but in a way that didn't harm anybody else. It didn't harm me, and honestly felt great. It was this full catharsis. I felt like it helped me process those emotions better. As silly and immature as it might seem, I'm happy I could be silly and immature in that little contained way, which I think is another testament to my growth. And I'm very, very proud of myself. And I don't know. This sadness that's as a result of a personal development can be kind of its own little weird, happy sadness.